You wake up tomorrow with Jeff Bezos' current net worth, $209 billion US. What do? Turn off the alarm. Go back to sleep. I no longer have to go to work. I purchase the Amazon. Not Amazon, but the Amazon. I asked my wife and she said, without skipping a beat, get a divorce. Welp, she meant get a divorce from her other husband obviously. You're the breadwinner now, congrats. I call IKEA and let them know I'll be purchasing their entire showroom and renting out the facility for a couple day. I then have a giant paintball match in IKEA. Then I call a financial advisor. Build a penis-shaped rocket and launch myself to space. Oh, wait. Honestly call the bank just to make sure it wasn't an error I don't want to spend, then find out that I'm in debt of how much I spent with probably a interest. This honestly, first thing I do is find out if it's all bullsh. Am I dreaming? What are the terms? Have taxes been taken out already? Who knows I have it? Etc. People with that much money don't pay taxes. Silly. Buy America. How much do politicians cost? Some of them, hilariously, pitifully cheap to vote your way, like the single digits of thousands cheap, given, still something mostly aligned with their goals and political positions already, but still. My biggest fantasy is to go into a hospital and anonymously pay off everyone's medical bill, those that need it and can't afford it. I imagine a couple whose child has cancer and they are financially wiped and I just pay their entire debt off. But I don't stop there. I buy them a new house, new car and X spending because they probably have been scraping by. I fantasize about paying off that mortgage for that single mom whose husband just abandoned them because he was a cheating jerk. They never know who I am. Things like that. I would be building all kinds of affordable housing for starters. Also I would be funding a myriad of initiatives including setting up spay-neuter clinics in places like India, Northern Canada, etc., where the street dogs suffer immensely, fully funding anti-poaching units like the Black Mambas and the Akashinga, large endowments to groups like the David Sheldrick Wildlife Trust and Wildlife Sauce. I'd love to get involved in providing funding for women families in poor countries to have clean, safe housing, access to birth control and healthcare, along with training for them to have small businesses or run small farms to grow and sell food. Probably get Amazon Prime for more than a free trial month. Probably. Become Batman. If you are a billionaire and you aren't literally Batman, then WTF are you even doing? Probably cry from sheer happiness at the thought that I will never again have to struggle or go without anything. Then start fixing everything that can be fixed with such enormous wealth. Buy an Mac Island in the Bering Sea, 200,000 acres including a volcano for a measly $16.5 million. And as it's only accessible via air and boat at certain times of the year, gives me some nice privacy. Construct a castle on the property in Gothic Revival style of architecture. Include modern features like electricity and heating, but still try to keep it like a real Gothic castle with similar materials as used throughout history. Must be at least 100,000 square feet as I like room to put my feet up. Bring polar bears to the island. Hopefully some are there already. Giving them proper food sources so their population can thrive. I want the island to be basically infested with polar bears, like have a higher density than anywhere else on the world, and breed them for aggression. Transportation around the island would need to be done in caged vehicles outfitted with 50-calorie rifles to defend against the rampaging threat of hyper-violent polar bears. Hire staff of 100 military contractors to protect the island from another staff of 100 military contractors I have pitted against each other. Hire a harem of beautiful women who constantly seek my attention. Continually deny their advancements because I'm not into women. Spend most of the day posting on Reddit and trying to live modestly. Pay off all my debt. Pay off the debt of all my family and closest friends. Buy land in the mountains on a lake and build our dream house along all the toys for lake life and a big guest house. Buy our dream cars. Travel the world. Build and fund homeless shelters that will provide people with a private room with their own kitchenette and bathroom. 3 nutritious meals a day. Medical care. Access to mental health professionals. Access to job training and career coaching. Transportation to work and interviews. And assistance to help them transition out of the shelter once they are back on their feet. Build and fund animal shelters that will provide animals with veterinary care, daily exercise, play, and their own comfortable rooms. The goal would be to make the animals feel like they're already in a home and not a cold, concrete kennel. Build and fund high quality senior citizen living facilities that include security measures to prevent and monitor for abuse. Also provide an appropriate salary for staff. Make donations toward converting to clean energy sources and other things to help combat climate change, like helping farmers make food production more sustainable. Fund free school breakfast and lunch for all children. After doing all the responsible things like talking with lawyers, accountants, and brokers, I will first do something for myself. Buy a pinball machine. I've always wanted one, and that's my extravagant gift that I would buy for myself if I ever had the money to burn. My second thing is to quit my job after they find a replacement for me and go to work on charities. I first want to work on a way to renovate old buildings and turn them into housing for the homeless. These will be nice living spaces for people in need, but it won't just be living spaces either. There will be a rec room, gym, a cafeteria, a daycare, therapy offices, an office to help people find jobs, and even a methadone clinic. I want to help people get back on their feet. When I see people down on their luck, I don't like myself because all I want to do is help, but I don't have the finances to do so. If I woke up to find myself the richest person in the world, how could I not want to help everyone? I guess it's been a dream of mine to help people in this way. I want to make an impact in the world for the better. Depends if people know that I have that much money, if it's legally mine, and how I have that money. If I woke up with my house full of cash, then I would have the hardest time spending huge quantities of cash without being suspicious to the IRS or whatever federal agency. I would lower my usual spending of my credit card, but not immediately. Also probably give some to family and friends. Go to bars or restaurants, pay cash, and tip generously. Avoid buying anything too flashy, new car, new house, etc. While keep working at my job. If the money was legally mine, then I would reinvest in myself first, work on health, pay off house, and set aside money for wife, kids, and mutual funds as inheritance. Then educate myself in medicine. I would really like to cure a disease, not just a temporary vaccine or a new pill, but a real cure, something I haven't heard of since the polio vaccine. No offense, but you have no clue how much money $200 billion is if you are thinking in terms of physical cash. $200 billion in $100 bills is roughly 894,000 cubic feet. That's the size of 10 Olympic swimming pools. Likewise, tipping is no longer your concern. On interest alone, you earn $38,500 each minute. The time it takes for you to fill in a tip form is no longer worth your time. Even buying a car is no longer worth the time it takes to fill out the paperwork. Filling up a car with gas is a criminal waste of your time just to chit and get a new car. Likewise, why would you bother investing in yourself? What? Are you going to labor like a pleb? Labor is beneath you. Why work for a mere $1,000 an hour or so like the highest paid workers when you earn $38k a minute just for existing? $401k? Who gives a damn about your $19,500 contribution limit? You can max that out while sneezing. You have to think bigger. When you realize just how hideous $1 billion is, you realize that billionaires are beyond any petty concerns like labor, any physical item, and so on. At that point there is only one thing that can or should concern you: power and shaping the world to be how you want it. Being most realistic, I'd probably experience 30 seconds of total joy excitement, followed by a crippling several hours of anxiety panic attack as the realization sets in that nearly every human alive would be willing to kill me for a fraction of that money, that the rest of my life will be spent in the national spotlight, that this will ultimately destroy every relationship I've ever built. Don't get me wrong, I'm still taking the money. I'm not trying to push some money can't buy happiness bullshit. But I think I'd need to keep this an absolute secret from everyone until I get a rock solid battle plan of affairs in order. Once the media finds out, you'd better not be anywhere that a horde of desperate lunatics can find you, or your family loved ones they're great for ransom. I buy a large piece of fertile land, farm and grow my own fruits and vegetables, have a stable for dairy supplies, build a grand mansion in the middle of the land, cover every square inch with all sorts of beautiful trees, and lastly put a huge glass dome on top of entire land. controlling my own atmosphere and unbothered by pollution and environmental crisis. First, I would take steps to ensure that nobody would find out I had the money. Then selfish things. Homes and trust funds for all the people I care about, including me. I'd buy a few luxury items like really great luggage, perfectly tailored clothes, some custom jewelry. I'd take our friends wherever they wanted to go, anywhere in the world. I would buy so many art supplies and tools and classes. That still isn't going to put a noticeable dent in the money. Unselfish stuff. I would hire experts to help me solve as many of the world's problems as possible. I doubt we could create a post-scarcity world, but we could change a lot of things for the better. Clean up the oceans, make lab-grown meat available to everyone, provide better educational opportunities for everyone, beautiful schools with dedicated teachers, set up in such a way that was respectful of cultures and beliefs wherever possible, and set up safe, truly safe, places for young people who needed to escape from dangerous environments, animal sanctuaries, maker spaces, medicine, pay people to learn skills that are being lost. IDK if we could save the planet, but I'd give it a try. Oh, and I'd pay a very fair wage to have people come in once a week and clean my houses. Not huge houses either, but built to last. Beautiful homes that were as environmentally friendly as possible. Imagine never having to scrub baseboards or chase down cobwebs ever again. Fusion. I'd spend whatever it costs to get the technology working. Unlimited, cheap, clean energy. No more need for fossil fuels. We could even heat our homes with electricity if it was cheap enough.